Hi everyone. In the previous session, we have seen the concept of JavaScript events like click, double click, mouse over, all these things with the help of real time examples. Okay, fine. In today's session, we'll see some more concept which was extended to DOM object. I mean, with the help of DOM object or with the help of document object, I can able to access the element. It's the element. I can able to access the data. I can able to access and modify the CSS properties. Modify the CSS properties with style attribute. Style attribute. Okay. In addition to this, we have seen how to modify the attribute. How to modify the attributes. I mean, I have shown it already for you. How to modify the attribute, right? For example, you can observe here in this code. I am trying to access an element and I am trying to modify the source, an attribute element, right? Source equal to visual.png for change function and source equal to logo.png. So that is what I am trying to explain. So meaning that I can able to modify the attributes, I can able to add the attributes, or I can able to delete the attributes, or I can able to get the attributes. Get the attributes. Like so these are various kind of operations that we can able to do. For example, if I open a console of this page, okay, fine. It is asking for don't resize me. Okay, I will modify the code first. This is I think previous class one. I will make it as comment so that it won't call for multiple times. Yes, I have refreshed it. Now I would like to see the attributes of image tag. Then what I can do? I can simply call document dot get element by id of. I need to first access the element. That element is I. If would like to visualize list of attributes that are there for the this element, then I can go with the attributes. You can observe guys here, it will provide all the things. What are the attributes? Source, id, on mouse over, on mouse out, all these things. Like this will have four length attribute. It is display. Okay, fine. For example, I would like to check whether it is having an attribute or not. It is having a corresponding attribute or not. For example, there is a method called has attribute method. Has attribute of source. If I am passing this one, you will get the answer as true because it has an attribute src. You can visualize the code. I'm going to right click, inspect element. You can observe here the source attribute is there. So it is going to provide as true. If I am giving something like this as title, it will provide it as false because that attribute is not there. Okay. If you want to get the attribute of a value, then I can go with a method called get attribute of. For example, I am trying to get the value of src. I can get java.png. I would like to get the value of uh, we can call it as id. For example, I want to get the attribute as id. You will get I. So like this, if you want to get the attribute, then I can go with get attribute method. For example, if you would like to set a new attribute to that one, then I can go with the set attribute method. Set attribute method, what attribute you need to set, followed with the corresponding value. For example, I would like to set title, comma. I would like to set this is Vijayawada. Vijayawada. Then I can go with the. If you want, you can inspect element, inspect, and you can get title equal to this is Vijayawada. Okay, but if in the it is in the HTML code, we didn't return that. So to make it dynamic, we can go with this DOM object. Okay, guys. For example, let me go with the more part. For example, here you can observe display text here, right? This is not having any kind of color, not having any. It is going to just display its text here. Now during runtime, I would like to add some kind of attribute like class attribute. For example, let me take one particular code. I'm going to write one class for here. For example, let us assume that there is a class I have written as C, background color as red. Assume background color as red. Now during the runtime, I would like to pass this C to a particular element like paragraph. What I can do? Document dot get element by ID of, I need to access the element paragraph dot, I can able to set its attribute. Set attribute of, attribute of. For what value I need to set? I need to set the class. Set the class. What is the class name? If you enter, you will get something like this. You can observe here. If you observe, click on inspect element, your class will be added as C. Class will be added as C. But why it is not getting the background color as red? That will be the problem. PID, background color spelling is something like this. I'm going to get once again. I have accessed the PID and I'm going to set the attribute as C. C, okay, C is there. Yes. Don't know. I think I made a mistake in the refreshing. See, observe, as I set the attribute as class C, that automatically get the color as red. Okay, because the class, the C is have defined as background color as red. Okay, this is the way you can able to work with the attributes. You can able to modify it. Or if you want to work with any kind of styling property like hiding the data or showing the data, or if you would like to modify the classes, then you can go with a property called class list, which is meant for to get the list of attributes. Observe. For example, I would like to get the list of attributes of this image tag or property, right? Or I will go with the ID of I dot, I'm going to define it as class list. Class list, you will get the list of DOM token list. Is there any class for the images? No, we didn't have added anything. For example, I would like to have class list for paragraph. You will get something like C. Observe, that is advantage of class list. Okay. Similarly, if you would like to remove an attribute, then I can able to remove. Now observe document dot get element by ID of, instead of set attribute, I can go with remove attribute. So while removing attribute, what attribute you need to remove, that you can able to simply pass. Automatically this color will be replaced. That is the advantage of working with arrays attributes, meaning that you can able to dynamically add some content to the web page. Okay. Okay guys, now we'll move to further concept, that is DOM traversal. DOM traversal. Okay, fine. So this image I have already taken for you at the starting only. Open with yeah. Guys, you can observe what is happening whenever your web browser loaded the HTML document for the first time. It is going to convert the HTML document into a kind of a tree structure, right? Yes. So there is a document is the root, and then HTML is the root element. For that, it contains two parts. One is head section, another one is body section. Like that, it has divided structure. Now, if you would like to tell something like this, for example, if I am having anchor tag as the element, I am at this particular location. What is the parent for the anchor tag? Body. I'm trying to modify it. Okay, I don't want to go for all these things. Just I'll just explain. For anchor tag, the parent element is body. For anchor tag, the child element is my link. For H1, the parent is body. H1, the child is a my header. For H1, sibling is anchor tag. Like this, you can able to analyze, right? Yes. Okay. Once you understood this one, let me go with simple example here. I have created only one HTML file. You can observe, guys. You can observe. If you observe, the body is the root element, For body, HTML is the root element. HTML and body are the siblings. For body, the children are div only. Div only. For div, the children are paragraph, another list, and body. Paragraph, another list, and body are the siblings. For another list, children are list 1, list 2, list 3. Okay, fine. For another list, for another list, this is the first child. This is the first child. Okay, and for another list, this is the last child. Last child. For div tag, first child is paragraph, last child is b tag. So like this. And for this another list, parent is div. And for this another list, previous element sibling is paragraph. For this another list, next element sibling is bold tag. So once you understood this, we'll go with the example part. You can observe it clearly here itself. Okay, fine. I would like to load this particular web page r1.html. I think it is already loaded. Yes, it is already loaded. Now if you go with console, here I can observe, for example, I am trying to define id as list. So with the help of list only, I will traverse the entire structure. Observe where d equal to document dot get element by id of list. Okay, now if I go for this console dot log of d, you can observe I got my entire list. No, you are not getting anything. It is because of I may not refresh the browser. Now I will try to print. Now you got. Observe entire list you got, right? Yes, that's good. I'm refreshing once again and trying to get the data of the list. You got. Okay. Now in this, if you would like to get the first child, if you would like to get the first child, then what I can do, d dot, I can go with first child. Go with first child. It is going to produce something like hash text. What is the meaning of this one? You can observe. It contains various kind of things what it is required. Among those, there are what are the child nodes, what are the next element sibling, what is the next sibling, all those things will be there. In addition to this, we will have a property called text content equal to backslash and backslash t backslash. What is the meaning of this one? Backslash n means next line, backslash t means tab. Tab. I mean, you can understood that here this is because of after the another list, I have given some space here. So that is the reason it is displaying. So if I want to avoid that, I can go with like this. Then you will get observe. Then you will get d dot first check. You will get the yellow. Okay, fine. I don't want to go for like that. I have to go with this one. Okay, before this, let me show one more thing. If you are trying to work with first check, if you are trying to work with first child, if you want to access the content, you have a property called only text content. You have a property called text content. You can't able to apply the other kind of properties, like for example, if you go with inner text, okay, you will get, you are getting, you will get for example inner html, you are getting. Okay, fine, that's fine. For example, let me go with this. I am trying to access get element by list of, I'm trying to get this. If I am trying to get d dot first child, you will get hash text, right? I don't want like this. I want to have only, I want to remove the spaces. I want to have only the elements which are exist. Then I can go with the first element child. First element child. Now you got the structure. Okay, that is the difference between first child and first element child. It will remove the entire spaces. Now on this, if you would like to have to get the data, then d dot first element child dot, you can go with anything. inner HTML or inner text or whatever it may be, you'll get the entire thing. If you want to have the last element child, then you can go with the last element child. But if you go with the last child, you have to compulsory go with the, you will get the hash text only. This is the way you can able to traverse. Yeah, fine. For example, I would like to get all the childrens, then I can get d dot children. It's going to produce a list of elements in the form of a HTML collection. HTML collection. As it is HTML collection, I can able to get its first item, right? D dot children of, if I write 0, first element you will get. On this, if you want to get some value, then I can go with the inner text. If I go with inner text, you will get the some data. Like this, you can, for example, I want to have the anywhere, somewhere. Like this, you can able to work. Or else, see, in the previous, if you are trying to work with the first child, you got some kind of text, right? Now also, they all those are available, but that is available in the form of a kind of child nodes. Child nodes. So if you go with child nodes, total number of 7 child nodes are there, including text also. Text also. Okay, this is the way you can able to get that kind of thing. Okay, fine. On this list tag, observe, I'm trying to get on this list tag. If you would like to get its sibling, if I'm trying to write its next sibling, next element sibling, what you will get? You will get the bold tag. Bold tag. For this another list, the next sibling is bold tag. Previous sibling is paragraph. Bold tag you are getting. If you are trying to get the previous element sibling, you will get the paragraph tag. Okay. For example, on this one, if you would like to have parent element, you will get the division. On this element, if you would like to have the parent of parent element, you will get the body. You can go ahead with the code in your body. Now, for example, if I am trying to perform parent element dot parent element dot, I would like to apply some style property here. Style dot background color. Background color equal to, I would like to have some red color. And observe. That is the reason we are trying to traverse them. Meaning that from one element, so from one element we can traverse to any location. Traverse to any location. This is what we call as traversing the DOM. Okay. So why we need to traverse the DOM? Because of access of elements. Because of access of elements, we know already how to access the elements. Because of access of the data, we know how to access the data. Because of add or modify the attributes. Because of add or modify the attributes, or because of adding some CSS styles with the help of style attribute, or we can go with some kind of getting the classes, all those things. These are all the things what we will do once we get the data. Once we move to a corresponding location. But here we will get have a question. We are doing all kind of operations except one thing, that is creation of new element. Creation of new element. That is also we can do. That is also meaning that we'll travel from one location to another location. There we can do any kind of operations. We can do any kind of operations, and also we can do creating of a certain kind of element. That creation of some kind of element, we can do it here with help of element called create element method. Create element. For example, I'm trying to refresh my browser. I would like to create an element. For example, I would like to create one kind of for to more look and feel. I'm trying to create an image. So in order to insert an image on the web page, first I have to create the image tag, right? For that image tag, observe. If you would like to create an element, that element is of related type image. What I have to do? First I have to create the image tag. So image tag I need to create. Once I have created the image tag, here I need to insert attribute called source attribute. Source equal to something like logo.png. I have created image. Once I created image, once created image, it doesn't mean that it is added to the page. You have to add it to the web page with help of again various kind of methods. One is like append method, or I can go with the prepend method based upon the requirement, or I can go with the replace child method. Replace child method is going to accept two parameters. One is new node which you want to add, another one is what element you want to replace, and something like insert after, insert after, or insert before, insert before, or you can go with the insert adjacent elements. Like this, we can go with various kind of ways, various kind of ways in order to insert the given created tag. Given created tag. Okay, here we will get question. How we are going to create the tag first? We can create the tag with help of a method called create element method. Create element method. In between here, we are going to write what kind of element you would like to create. For example, if I am trying to create an image tag, then I can go with image. If I would like to create paragraph tag, I can go with paragraph. If I would like to go with division tag, I will go with division tag. Here my requirement is I would like to add an image dynamically to the web page. Then what I can do is first I would like to create the element image. How we are going to create document dot. I have a method called create element method. Create element. What element I need to create? I need to create an element called image tag. Image tag is created. Created. Once it created, you won't get any visualization, right? You have to add some kind of source attribute to this. How we are going to add a source attribute? That we need to store it some reference where I equal to reference. Now on this element, I can able to add one attribute. How we are going to add attribute? With help of a method called set attribute method. What attribute you need to add? Source attribute I need to add. Source. I need to add its value. Logo dot png. Yes, attribute is set. Once attribute set, our entire element is created. Now I need to add this element to the web page. How we are going to do that? This we can able to do with help of multiple ways. Add the element to the web page. Add the element to the web page. One is through append, one is through prepend, one is through replace child, another one is so append means, like for example here if we take, if you would like to, as I would like to add that element, let me go with this here. If I am trying to access with respect to UL, meaning that I am presently up to here, if I am going to add append, then that will be added here. That will be added here. If I am trying to work with division, that will be added here. For example, if I am trying to work with li tag, that will be added as endpoint. I hope you understood clearly. Okay, meaning that when you are trying to work with append, by default it will be added as last child. By default it will be added as last child. Okay, but here I declared two methods. One is append method, right? Yes, you can observe where I need to add that data. For example, I would like to add after the UL for the UL tag. Then you need to access the UL tag where u equal to document dot get element by id of. I need to access UL. UL is contains list. List. On this, I am going to add append. Append of. Append of what you need to append? I need to append I. Guys, if I press enter, that will be added. You can observe. That will be added at the last child of the UL. If I go with prepend, you can observe. If I go with prepend, that will be added. If I go with prepend, that will be added as the first child. As I am trying to work with this one, trying to work with UL. But if you are working with division, that will be different. You can observe. If I am trying to add, that will be added as the first child. You can observe. In the UL, that will be first child. That is the way you can. Once you create an element, you need to define where you need to do. That will be depend upon append, prepend, append child. You can observe here. if you got u dot append child is also there, append child of I, child of I. It's going to be added. You can observe. I'm going to inspect element. You can observe in the HTML code we have only 3 lists, but here it will be added one more data in the before end of the URL. That is the advantage of append and append. But there is one difference here, guys. If I go with u dot append of, I'm trying to write as Jaya. Press enter. That will be added here. Observe on that will be added here. But if I go with u dot append child of, if I make it as Krishna, it will provide certain error, because while explaining the concept here, it's in DOM, I have clearly they said that the tree structure contains every element we can call it as a node, meaning that the append child method is going to accept the data in the form of nodes only, or nodes only. But we are trying to pass here Krishna as a string. So if you would like to convert the Krishna word into a kind of a node, we can use a method called create text node method, where k equal to document dot I would like to write create text node. Create text node. For what will you need to write Krishna? Yes. Text node is created. Now I can call u dot append child of what I can pass now this node, that will be added. Now won't be tell. That is the difference between append and append child methods. Okay, you can work with all this. Replace child method is going to replace the corresponding created node with the new node. Sorry, corresponding created node with the existing node. What node? Insert after what element I need to insert. For example, uh, I would like first parameter is the created node. The created node. Second parameter is what element I need to replace. After what element I need to wait. Similarly, insert before also. Created node. After what element you need to uh, before what element you need to add the data. Similarly, insert adjacent element. The same kind of things you can observe. Okay, okay, fine. So this is the way of traversing the DOM and creating a new element with the help of this DOM methods. Okay, in the next class we'll see one real-time example regarding this DOM traversing. Thank you.